Now today, it is my honor and pleasure to present author Silas House, who will serve as Kentucky Poet Laureate for 2023 through 2024. Silas was born in Lilly, Kentucky, in Laurel County, right?
I was born in Whitley County.
Okay, in Whitley County. And also spent a good deal, apparently, in surrounding counties. That area served as a template for his fictional Crow County, the setting for his first 3 novels. Our new Poet Laureate is a nationally best-selling author of novels Clay's Quilt, A Parchment of Leaves, The Coal Tattoo, and Eli the Good. In 2012, he co-authored Same Sun Here. His most recent novel, Lark Ascending, was published in 2022. Among his many awards are you've won a lot of awards. The Nautilus Award, the E.B. White Award, the Appalachian Book of the Year, the New York Public Library, and the NAV Foundation Storyline Prize, and the Lee Smith Award. This incredible author has been invited to read at the Library of Congress. In 2018, his novel Southernmost was longlisted for the Carnegie Medal for Excellence in Fiction. In 2020, House received the Governor's Awards and the Artist Award, which we were able to kind of officially present to you just last year. Silas grew up here in Kentucky, was educated here from kindergarten right through college. He teaches our future writers right here in Kentucky, and he tells his Kentucky story through his unique gift. For the next 2 years, our Commonwealth is going to be fortunate. In fact, I think we're going to be blessed to have him as our literary ambassador to the rest of the world. So, for the first time, let's officially welcome Kentucky's Poet Laureate for 2023 and 2024, Silas House. One or two statements for Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Governor Beshear and the Kentucky Arts Council for this designation. Lindy Casebeer, thank you. I am moved by your trust in me. I am indebted to my family, both created and blood, especially my parents, my husband, my children. Thank you to my nominators for your belief in me. I am grateful to the example set by the previous Poet Laureates, all of whom I admire and respect so much. I'm especially honored to walk in the footsteps of my friend, Crystal Wilkinson. I'm grateful to Tamara Coffey and Tom Musgrave, along with many others in the Governor's administration, as well as the Arts Council, who have worked to make this day happen and who care about literature. We are fortunate here in Kentucky. Not all states have arts councils that are as active, generous, and encouraging as ours, and it is important for us to remember that. The Kentucky Arts Council gave me my first major recognition as a writer back in 1996 when I was awarded an Al Smith Fellowship. That funding and validation set me on my course to finish my first novel. We have so many literary heroes in Kentucky, far too many for me to name today, but I want to specifically mention George Ella Lyon, Bell Hooks, Wendell Berry, Barbara Kingsolver, Kathleen Driscoll, and Sina Jeter Naslund, because they were among the first established writers to encourage me and to validate my work. They were constant and unyielding in that support for me, and I am thankful for their examples. I'm also proud, very proud, to be the product of Kentucky's public school system. Yes. From first grade all the way to my bachelor's degree, educators are my heroes, and I am so weary of seeing them maligned and discounted. They deserve our gratitude and respect. My 7th grade teacher, Sandra Stidham, handed me the first books that set me on fire, and was the first adult I knew to be passionate about literature. So she gave me permission to be too. Let's continue to give our teachers the respect they deserve and to stand against that maligning that happens. So this is what I want you to know about me. I am proud to come from Kentucky's working class. My paternal grandfather was a coal miner who lost a leg and both of his lungs to the mines. My maternal grandmother cooked in the sweltering kitchen of the first Kentucky Fried Chicken alongside Colonel Sanders. My parents worked hard their whole lives. My father is a Vietnam vet who worked as a mechanic, as a concrete pourer, and as a factory supervisor. My mother waited tables and worked for years in the lunchroom of my elementary school. Their deepest ambition was to make my life better than theirs had been, and they did. For the first 8 years of my life, we lived in a trailer, just like almost everyone else in my family. And I can tell you this for sure, the rain sounds loveliest on a trailer roof. While most of the world often told us that we were no good because of where we lived, my family taught me to always be proud of being country, being Appalachian, being Kentuckian. When you're from a place or a culture or a way of being that is constantly negated, belittled, or erased, you love it harder. But I have learned this. The more people try to erase us, the more pride we have. The more they try to dull us, the brighter we will shine. I am the first openly gay person to serve as Kentucky's Poet Laureate. Thank you. I am also a person of faith who has always refused to allow that to be taken away from me by a culture that insists on narrow definitions of Christianity. I am a teacher, I'm a father. Like most people, I have many identities. To quote Walt Whitman, who was not a Kentuckian, but who did write of Elkhorn Creek, I contain multitudes. But all too often, the world tries to reduce us all to one neat and tidy label. This troubles me, the way we so often operate in absolutes. It has become too easy to categorize people as wholly good or wholly bad. I believe we can offer both grace and defiance. We can give people grace while also knowing there is a line we won't allow to be crossed. Art, and especially writing, can help to build empathy. I believe this is one of our most important roles as artists. Literature gives us the opportunity to see differing points of view more easily and more clearly. There is so much vitriol on public display these days. While it does feel more widespread and blatant now, I also know that I have witnessed this sort of behavior all of my life. The only things that have carried me through have been community, family, the natural world, dogs, and art, always art. Poems, music, paintings, novels, stories, films, dancing. Food, water, shelter, they're essential, but so is beauty, conflict, and impetus for the thought that art has provided to me and that it can provide to all of us. As the old song says, we need both bread and roses. As Poet Laureate, I want to bring more roses to Kentuckians, especially the young ones. Growing up, I was always with older people, and I know this made me a better writer and a better person. I want to implement ways for young folks to get reconnected with their elders through writing or oral history projects. I want to think more about the stories that have been erased or muted and work to illuminate them. I want to celebrate the rich literary tradition of the Commonwealth in ways that can help build our tourism. Most of all, I want to always show others how to shine their own lights more brightly, to celebrate books, to make clear that our similarities far outweigh our differences. My family, my community, my teachers made me a writer, but so did the creeks and ridges. So did the ferns and wildflowers and trees. So did Cumberland Falls and Cumberland Gap. So did the wide waters of Dell Hollow Lake and the jumping cliffs of Laurel Lake. So did Lexington and Louisville, cities that opened their welcoming arms to me in times when I needed safety and love the most. No wonder Kentucky has produced such a rich literary tradition. We are a complicated, complex people who have many different ways of being and thinking. That diversity of thought and ways of being is what makes us a commonwealth. I will do my best to serve it and its people. Thank you.